have to know what you're doing, and you still have to make sure your stats are right and everything's lined up right. But still, it's a lot easier build than to run a dynamic rotation on a warden, because I'm still stuck in Arena 7 on this warden in there.
The end game. We're definitely gonna talk about the end about the infinite or what is it called,
Archive?
dungeon arena.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the input
but that'll
archive.
be later on. That'll be because I can
Okay.
talk so much about that. I'm pretty excited about that, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
If not, we'll go off topic. But
Okay.
I will say this. So I will give you your props, and here's why. Because
Thanks.
nowadays, to be a healer, you also got to be a damage dealer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of the biggest problems is you have a lot of healers, and even one of your best mentors or friends, whatever you want to call it, um, they want to blow a spot. We all love her to death, Mel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that healers from years ago are just healers, and that's all they are.
Right.
They're not DPSs. They're not. They don't. All they do is heal, and
Right.
that over the years that has kind of
Changed
changed
a
where
lot.
now if you're a healer, but you also have to know how to do some type of DPS or support DPS.
Right.
So the fact that you have a heavy attack Sork and you clear Maelstrom is pretty awesome because
Yeah.
you're
He was fun.
it's not something you're expected to have for
Uh-uh.
a player that's been playing so long in Elder Scroll.
Right.
Um, like I said, nowadays the new players absolutely like if I get a player in the guild and they're like, "Hey, Nuni, I'm new to the game and I want to
Mm-hmm.
be a healer." The first thing I'm going to tell them, yes, we can train you to heal, but you also have to learn DPS.
You
It's just a
have to.
mandatory. There's no such thing as one-sided support anymore.
No.
Um, if you're a tank, you have to know more than tanky. If you're a healer, you have to, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a different era. I
It
mean, what do you
is.
think about that? How do you
Well,
feel about that?
this character's been through a few changes. Like I told you, I started with a sword, but I ended up on a warden, and she was actually a high elf at first. And I tried healing with her, but she wasn't doing so good. And wardens weren't strong at the time in the game, so everybody suggested DPS. So I ran her as a Magdin for a long time. Well, then it became finally wardens got buffs for stamina. They became overpowered on stamina. As one of the patches they did. So I changed her to a red guard, and she was a stand-in for about 2 years, and then I finally went to a Bren. So it's been that many transitions. Like you have to be flexible with the fact that you might have to change if you want to heal or do any kind of support role. Sometimes it's better to change your race up. It's just it's like you said, it's playability and how well you play and what kind of style you play in too. But damage is the number one. Like you have to like I did damage for 4 years before I was a healer. You have to know because it's about seeing the dungeons, becoming familiar, getting used to the mechanics. Healing, you usually stand back and you watch everything unfold, but you're there to keep the group. You're never there for yourself. You're there for the group. So you need to know what the group is experiencing to be able to become I feel like you need to know what the group is experiencing as a damage dealer to understand how to heal that effectively. You got to
Oh
know when it's
yes.
the oh shit moments for the DD because they're going to get hit with a one shot or they're going to get hit with a really heavy mechanic from the bosses or the ads or whatever. And that you don't get that experience just healing. You just don't. It takes a lot longer, I would think. And I'm sure there's proficient players that can do it, but it has changed where you need to know what's going on from all the perspectives if you can help it. I suggest everybody play all the roles, of